So, hello everyone, this is OK here, and we're going to play another two games against Flourish. His boss walked in game two there. We did actually have a likely forced mate coming, but Crazyhouse 960 is too fun, and it'd be much more fun to have four games instead of two. It means I'm guaranteed at least half a point, and I'm now going for 1 point. So let's have a look at this position. This knight clearly goes to here. These bishops can be developed as follows. It seems like a good idea to develop the queen along the diagonal, maybe a bishop as well along the diagonal. So we have to remember that he's going to do that as well. Maybe press this and press this. Press this and press this and fianchetto the bishop. That way the bishops come out nicely. That seems to be the thing to do. Would also be nice to put maybe a bishop here staring down at his queen, but then we need to support that with a knight. So e4, e3. e3 blocks in our bishop a bit. e3 opens up our king as well. There's ideas of bishop a6, which h6, which is slightly annoying. So all in all, what should we do here? I'm thinking open up our queen as quickly as possible. So I'll do this. There is a sense, someone said, yeah, maybe there was something to be said for going to here to give this, make this a possibility. Okay, so I should have checked also. This pawn is slightly weak. Okay, so he's threatening this pawn. I don't want to block the queen. I could play h3. Somehow that doesn't feel right. Could play bishop a3. That doesn't feel right either. I could push again. Where's the knight go if I push? If I push, the queen controls these squares, so it has to go here. And then I could push h3 then. That doesn't quite work. Well, I could go queen here and try and pick up the knight. He doesn't really have an obvious move defending the knight. Okay, he does, because maybe queen here and knight back to here. Okay, so I'm thinking here, knight here, f3, but the knight just comes back. Bishop a3. Bishop a3 is interesting. Interesting. The knight comes back to here, but maybe we get a few moves with tempo chasing this knight around. So that's the reason for this. Ooh, he just backs off. Okay. So e3 or e4? e4, e4. So if e4, g6, bishop here, that's the slight issue. e4, bishop takes pawn. e4 feels right. e3 is another idea. e3 and take the bishop out this way. I think e3 feels good. Now that this is blocked off because by this pawn, I think e3 feels right. So it looks like he's trying to go here with his bishop. So I've got to watch out for this square as well. Maybe just simply take a knight out. He's not threatening anything. So he does just simply attack that pawn. So I can defend that with h4 or c4. c4 creates a few more holes. c4, d4 grabs a lot of space. Slightly risky. h4, h6 risks opening up the file. So I'll go with c4. Not entirely 100% sure. Feels correct. And I've got to really keep an eye on the time because he's a faster player than me. Could just go h6 though. Okay, so he does this, maybe with eyes towards here. That's actually quite a good move because it stops this. So I'm going to go here. Although it does block up my bishop a bit, but so also he might have thoughts of going to here with his knight. That's why I'm thinking of this. So just grabbing space, but in doing so, I've got to be a little bit careful that I'm not weakening my position overly. So okay, I'm going to try and maintain control with bishop here. Pawn takes, bishop takes maybe, but he could then return the pawn there. But then I have a pawn in hand, so it's not so bad. But it's really hard to castle in this position. So he's increasing the pressure. Okay, so the thing with this, I've got knight here. Annoying move. I think I'll do it. So if pawn takes pawn, I take the bishop, and it's threatening a check, so he has to take it back. So I think he has to back off. Ah, now this move I can push the rook back and then double his pawns. So I think that's a nice thing to do. And double his pawns. Okay, so that feels like something of a success. Now the question is how to continue. Bishop here, he has to block with something, probably with the knight. So he probably blocks with the knight, and then what? Or he could just move the king. That is also a possibility. He does just move the king. Okay, so let's think here. If I go f4, takes will be a check. If he doesn't take, okay, I'm thinking bishop here. I need to at some point move this rook. He's always got a knight in hand. Got to be careful where that knight might drop. Maybe bishop here is stronger. Maybe bishop here is stronger. Just be careful where the knight's dropping. So the threat is what exactly? So bishop takes knight, he'd go pawn takes, I guess. So knight here. Again, just got to try and control squares around my king. It's interesting, he's gone for a bit of a king walk. Ah, that's a good move. So this is the problem. So I could back off, but just knight takes bishop. And so my bishop's looking really silly out on the edge there. There's no way of me saving it, is there? This is terrible. So I've got to be smart. I've really made a mess of things. Yeah, I made a mess of things. He's got knight takes pawn. If I've just trapped my own bishop. It's such a sad state of affairs. Bishop here. I could go bishop takes knight and maybe defend. So bishop takes knight, pawn takes. Bishop takes knight, pawn takes. Maybe I do this. So if he takes the bishop, I take this pawn. There's this idea, which is interesting, but then I have this check, so it doesn't quite work. Oh my goodness, I'm down to 1 minute. Okay, so it's literally got to blitz this. If he throws in a check, I've just got to move here. So I'm giving him a choice, the bishop or the pawn with check. Having going back, then I can actually defend with the rooks. So it's a double-edged thing. It's a double-edged thing. I think he'll go with the pawn. That's my hunch. So I'm going to try and... So I had a space advantage, but I fell for this tactic, which is a shame. Now I really need to build up stuff on the clock. Okay. Because the problem with this game... Okay, I could take a bishop. He's threatening knight there check, but I can just come out, so that's not a problem. I could take the bishop, potentially, or I could take the pawn, takes the pawn, bishop takes pawn. I feel like taking the bishop somehow. Okay, so he's got a knight and two bishops. Got to be careful, because bishop there, and yeah, this is dangerous. Bishop there and knight here are not defended. So if I put a bishop here, he's still got knight here, check. Okay, that's not good. If I put a bishop here, he's got knight here, checkmate. That's not good either. Bishop here, maybe. Bishop here, bishop here. Then he does have a knight check, but no obvious follow-up. Yeah, so I'll go with bishop here. Just give the king a little bit of cover. And all I have is a pawn and rook in hand, so it's a little bit hairy. I felt like the bishop was too good a defender of the king to be able to just go for mate already. Could go pawn here. Try and get in on the back rank. But having said that, my back rank is not so strong. The problem with rook there is he had bishop here, so but yeah, bishop here is really important. Bishop takes knight, it doesn't really do anything. I need at here next. So he's threatening knight here, checkmate, which is very nice. If rook here, so I'm offering him a rook for a bishop. Rook here, you could go knight here anyway. Here, okay, I feel that's good. Just trying to give my king some air. Why didn't I block with a pawn or something? I think I want my pawn and rook to attack with. But if he puts another bishop, then I castle, I guess. I mean, or I attack. He has takes, and takes here, so yeah, maybe I castle. But then he has some nice sacrifices. Takes, okay, so I could just castle, but then he's got bishop takes pawn. Okay, so the point of this is takes, king. I mean, I suppose I just go pawn here, and he goes bishop takes rook, bishop takes knight here check. So bishop takes pawn. Ah, okay. Let's just go pawn here. So he's got a knight, bishop, and a rook. Just be careful about this square. So knight checks. He's only got one knight. That's important. Bishop here if I get a chance to defend. Bishop here as well. If he checks me with the rook, takes, knight here would be a possible attack strategy. If I defended with the rook, then he'd get knight there and a rook on second rank, which is less pleasant. So that would be, so defending with the bishop. I have two bishops, so he wants a pawn. Why is a pawn so dangerous? So do this. Okay, he's got pawn, bishop, rook. Throwing in a check. He evades the check, fair enough. Now, I want to put something like a bishop here. He's going for a bishop here, so bishop here is this thing to be wary of. So I'm going to go with bishop there, but he can defend with the pawn. Okay, I've got to do this. So if pawn here, still just have to take it. Okay, so he does this. So if okay, I've got a block. Yeah, this is letting him pick up too much material, so it's a bad thing. Okay, what do I do to attack here? He's threatening discovered checkmates, discovered mates. Okay, I've got to take it. I go down. He's got knight here check. This is just a disaster. Oh, this is such a disaster. So now I need to protect against here and here. It's kind of hard to do. No escape. I'm dead. Bishop here mates me. Okay. That one didn't go well. So he goes for getting out his bishop early. And what do we remember from the last game? If you want a castle queenside, it's quite important to move this rook and bishop away. Okay. I can hit it with a knight. Maybe going bishop here and hitting him is also an idea. Okay, I'll go with this and this, or this. Okay, I don't need to show my hand just yet. What? She wanted bishop here. Rook here check, bishop blocks. Doesn't actually do anything. Ah, but now he's got very little defense. Rook here check, bishop here. Pawn here. Rook here, check, bishop here, pawn here, bishop takes pawn, rook takes queen, bishop takes queen. Interesting. Rook here to pawn there, maybe queen. Rook here, check. So I think I take the knight and then take the queen. Or do I take the bishop? I take the knight because it's check. Okay, so we're left with the knight and queen against pawn and queen. This is a crazy old position, isn't it? So he's going to be thinking of moves like this. But knight here actually defends rather well. So actually the best move in this position is knight here takes bishop checkmate. That's the one to go for. There's no way of doing that with an existing knight, so I have to do it with a new knight. But he still has this square for the bishop. But you can still go knight here, bishop here, pawn here, something like this. Maybe knight here? Interesting. Knight takes bishop is check. And bishop here attacking the queen. And the idea is to take the knight and put the knight here, maybe? Maybe. Threaten checkmate here. So queen c2 is a mate threat. It's kind of hard to stop. So if I go rook takes knight, I go to take the queen. So now I've got two queens. And I go queen here, takes, knight here, check. Queen, Okay, queen takes knight here, check. I think he can still run though. And then I take this and this. He runs. If he runs here, queen here, check. Yeah, so he runs up, queen here, check, takes. Huh. So I want queen there, king takes, knight here, check, king up. Oh, knight takes bishop, maybe. King back. That doesn't quite work. Queen, king takes, knight there, check, king up. If I go queen here, king here, and then he's trying to run back. So, and if I just go knight here, very chill, then he defends with the bishop here. So knight takes, that's annoying. So queen takes, knight there, check. If he tries to run this way, queen there, check there, takes here. I mean, it can't end well with the queen in the center of the, with the king in the center of the board, but I need to prove it. Queen here, check, takes, knight here, here. What's the finish? Queen here, king takes, knight. Got to be careful, just not. I mean, I could just try and use some existing pieces, possibly. What else could I do? I could throw in a check. Blocks and take a pawn, maybe? Okay. What if he defends with the rook? No. So I didn't see the forced mate after this, but maybe there was one. Knight takes bishop, king back. Giving away a queen though, that's the thing, in that line. So, is my king safe? It looks fairly safe. The point is just to grab this pawn, maybe even grab this one. Huh, okay. So queen takes pawn is a threat, bishop takes knight is a threat. To be honest, good defense from Flourish in what I thought was a game over position. He's managed to fight on. And anything can happen. So bishop takes knight is hard to defend because the knights that would, maybe knight here, but you have to kick it. No, just queen, oh no, queen takes knight, bishop takes, that doesn't work. So he does this. Doesn't really defend. So now I'm threatening this one. So he has to do something like this. Now I'm threatening the rook, but I'm also threatening checkmate. And here I can just throw in a check, which he can't block. Or he can block it. And checkmate. Okay. So 3 games to 1 it finishes after 4 games. Yeah, definitely the third game was an interesting one. So I could put the game links on the spreadsheet, and I'll do that off the stream. Okay, so definitely this third game, where did it all go wrong? Would be quite interesting to analyse this. Where did we think it went wrong? I thought I was doing quite nicely after I kicked that bishop. Yeah, this bishop here check seemed like such a smart idea, but just manually moving the king out, and even here, felt I'm doing okay here, move 15, but takes. I feel like his king is the one which is weaker than mine. But something critical happens around this whole this area. 17 moves. Yeah, and suddenly I'm the one defending. Yeah, maybe this is a bad defense. This rook d2, move 21. I'd say it's all gone wrong at move 21, but maybe it's gone wrong earlier. Let's see. Yep, it's already bad earlier apparently. So even at this point, it's -8. So something's gone wrong. And yeah, it is just hanging this bishop. That was a real shame. Taking the rook's a mistake. The knight's a good piece. Taking the rook's a mistake. Bishop at d4. Just defend this key square. Bishop at d4. This knight is fine. There's no point trading a knight for a rook. The knight is a good piece. Darn. Yeah, that's good to know. Bishop there, bishop takes knight. You know, maybe there's some dangers in that position. And before that, it's all fairly equal actually. So like even right to the beginning. So even here, slight advantage for white. King d7, really smart move. And knight e2 is good. I could have castled. Oh, I could have castled. Could have castled, lost my bishop, and that would have been fine. Instead, I did this, which I thought was reasonable. It wasn't too bad indeed. Takes bishop to h3. And apparently putting pressure on e6 was a really interesting way to go. Okay, I went this way, and now I do really have the advantage, but I must go bishop at d4. So that was the game I lost. Okay, so thanks Flourish for the games, and good night.